files. I have many files. Like, I'm not a car guy, but I have files up the ass. I have them in the garage. I have in my office, the
like
outer
a file
office.
cabinet.
Like very, very good files. Like Fire King files. They are fireproof and they are strong. Some of them I've had for 30 years. They last.
And what's in there? They're signing new comics, and they're like owning their podcasts and getting. And I'm trying to tell every young comic I need, like, you don't fucking need these guys. They can't get you advertising if you don't have listeners. You're going to get all of this stuff, and then what's going to happen is if you leave that agency, it's like they're going to get your money for the rest of time. It was like back in the day, if you booked a sitcom with one, and your agent was at whatever, William Morris, and then you left for Gersh, the whole time you did that sitcom, you owed William Morris the money. They're going to do that with like podcasts.
Where the fuck do you see young comics?
What do you mean? I go out to the clubs, Bill.
You do?
Yeah, you have to. It keeps you young as far as like, you're still, like, I'm still 54, but like, you can't go out. Dude, I used to watch a lot of guys from your generation.
What do you mean, my generation?
Your
I'm
generation.
12 years older than you.
You're a boomer, man. You're fucking talking about the Beatles, getting all,
you're 54?
your feathers.
Okay, so you're 12 years.
Fluffed about what's her face.
Okay, by the way,
the White Album is so much better than Taylor Swift.
By the way, to anyone under 30, we're the same. Okay, so don't be like your generation.
We are, but to you, but I'm saying as a kid, I was coming up. Your stand-up generation.
Right.
Okay,
well,
during the heyday of the sitcom.
Yeah.
Can we meet on that ground? Can you uncross your arms for half a second and let me feel like you're judging me? All right, so...
India?
Yeah.
No.
I did a gig over there, man. It was amazing.
Come on, a gig?
Yeah.
You did a gig in India?
Yeah, it was amazing.
What city?
And I'll tell you, the people there, they're fucking hilarious. They're ball breakers. When I called up this podcast, and they were just talking to me, going like, "Hey, you going to talk about this?" And I was like, I don't know. They go, "You talk about that?" They just kept leading me on these things. You gonna talk about religion or something? And I was like, I don't. I go, "Wait, are you guys talking about this stuff?" And then they started laughing. They were trying to get me in trouble.
What city was this?
Mumbai, which used to be Bombay when we were kids.
No kidding.
All right, I'm not trying to, okay, I get it. You have a globe.
No. Mumbai.
Mumbai,
yes,
sorry.
It's the city that was attacked so viciously in 2008. And I always think about the Nazis, like every group of people at some point has tried to take over the world. I mean, everybody gets their turn in the barrel, like doing that.
Those are my favorite Norm Macdonald jokes, was saying how Germany was the size of Maine, and they tried to take over the world, and they almost did it.
Germany was never the size of Maine. Germany's a large country.
It isn't.
It is.
Not compared to us, it isn't.
Not quite compared to us, but in Europe it is.
I found your button. Your button is geography. You get all prickly.
No, I'm just Mumbai.
Mumbai, sorry.
And also Germany is a large country. And German peoples live outside of Germany. That's one reason why Hitler was taking over little parts of Europe before World War II.
I'm not counting the expats. I'm saying what it says.
They're not expats. They're just pockets of German people. Czechoslovakia has German people. That's why he went in. Not refugees. He went into the Sudetenland because he was, quote unquote, protecting ethnic Germans there. He went into Alsace-Lorraine on the other side of Germany. Germany is a fairly big country, and
you just downsized that. You said Germany's a big country. Now you're saying fairly big. Just saying.
Why do we have to have this adversarial relationship?
Because it's fun.
Okay, all right. But
I read your book a long time ago.
Which one?
The True Story.
Oh, good.
Buick and all of that. I love that book.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Now, when you started stand up, you literally, like, there was so few rooms, right? Before the whole, did you start before that, or was that just in the book that you were talking about that?
Again, we're 12 years difference in age. I mean, you make it sound like
that's a big difference.
I don't think it's as big a difference
dude.
as you're making it.
I came out. There was the compact disc. You were like fucking LPs.
Okay.
You buy a bag
All
of grass
if,
this
if,
fucking
if
big.
That what you?
Well,
if,
now it
if
isn't.
this is what you need.
Now it isn't
If this is
different.
what you need
Now
to
it
make
is-
yourself feel young, you do
No,
you.
no.
All I
I'm
know
saying
is
now it's not a big deal. But like when I was
live in-
12, you were 24. You had like a mustache and shit.
okay. But when I was 20,
El
when I was
Camino,
36, you were
dealing
24. The older you get, the more alike you become. Now that you're
No, but I'm talking about back then. I started in 1992 rather than 1980. That's a big fucking difference as far as where stand-up is.
okay, great. Do you have that? If that makes you feel good, then you do.
No, I was trying to find out about stand-up.
Yes, well, we had crude tools back then, and there was no electricity, so we had to like shout the jokes.
No, but there wasn't like there was a funny bone in every state back then.
There was a comedy explosion right around the early '80s. That's true.
Okay.
Friend, patron Bud Friedman. I remember at some point he moved to Beverly Hills because there was improvs in every city and the money was pouring in, and there he was in Beverly Hills and had this big beautiful house and all this artwork. And then somewhere, wait, listen to this.
I love the new money artwork.
Okay,
thing. That's one of my favorite things ever.
All right. Let me finish.
Sorry, I was laughing at your joke.
So I didn't tell the joke yet, which is that he. You said like I feel like
I've never felt like what the fuck am I doing here? Like when I did your show,
it was so.
You had that guy who ran for that guy who fucking ran for
But it was so silly. I mean, you.
Sitting across
I feel like I want to be your shrink because I think you're
With all your file cabinets? I don't think you're qualified.
Underestimating your intelligence. First of all, you were the mid-show guest when we used to have that, so you weren't even being asked to do anything political or engage with the panel on a. I can see why that. Yes, they did.
No,
of course we did. Of course we did. You blocked it out. We think we were trying to fool you.
How that never happened.
It did. But anyway,
you
the
sound
point
like
is,
a fucking old school parrot.
The point is,
Oh, I never did that.
The point is, you could engage.
None of those things.
You mean going after them to cancel them because they said something
acting
that
like
was...
what they're doing is what's wrong with the country, rather
Right.
than we can't drink our own water now because corporations have poisoned, or you came up with synthetic heroin and killed a couple 100,000 Americans. No, that all just fucking goes away.
Who came up with synthetic heroin?
Pharmaceutical companies.
Where can I get it?
Huh?
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah,
opioids?
Oxy, yeah, Oxy, all of that
oh,
shit.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That is
It's like
synthetic
the
heroin.
Houston Astros
Right.
thing, where
Of
they
course.
cheated at such a fucking level that they don't even talk about it.
Right.
They fixed the World Series. But if you have like a football that's allegedly a cunt hair lighter, they'll talk about that for fucking 8 years because it doesn't affect anybody's money. It's silly. It gets fans yelling and that type of stuff. I watched the whole Astros-Yankees series, and I've watched this whole. I missed a little bit of game two, the Philly series, and they haven't brought it up once. They fixed the World Series. They haven't brought it up fucking once.
Well, it was litigated. I mean, the Astros certainly were booed unmercifully for a whole year after, I think it was 2017.
Oh, poor babies. 1 year.
No.
That's
Okay,
it.
I'm
It
not
should still be going.
I can give a fuck about the Astros. I'm not defending the Astros. I'm just saying it
think
shouldn't
you
live on forever. And they didn't fix the World Series. They were sign stealing. Okay.
It's not why I originally watched it, but now I watched it.
It's what-
I
me
tried
too.
to watch the news.
Right.
I tried to be the guy that knew stuff, and it just fucking
didn't work.
Well, because there's no solutions. It's
Well-
just they just present one horrible thing after another.
That's not true either.
And then you just watch people go after the tail,
there are-
never the head.
That's ridiculous. There are many, many people in this world who are better off because boring people locked in rooms eating cold pizza at 2 a.m. with stale coffee worked on
UPS drivers?
worked on problems so that lives could be made better, and they were.
That was one of the most vaguest, longest sentences I've ever heard in my life.
Well, if you wouldn't interrupt me so much, I could finish.
What are you talking about? I listened to the whole sentence.
The whole sentence. That's right. Everything is done in one sentence. Okay. Just let me put some specifics there.
Okay, there's guys in rooms with cold pizza working long and hard.
Exactly.
Okay.
For example, senior poverty used to be 27%, and then people worked very hard to pass Social Security, and now it's under 10%. Child poverty, we just saw an incredible drop in that.
How do you know it's under 10%?
Because they have government agencies who work on that. Are you suspicious that those stats aren't right?
Well, I do remember that once you were unemployed, after a certain amount of time, they just considered you not looking for a job and they took you off of it.
Okay, but we're talking about senior citizens. We're talking about senior citizens.
What the bankers did in 2008 ended up with me in 2012 when my roof collapsed from water. I had water damage.
I can't have a serious political discussion with the guy at the end of the bar who just anecdotally throws something like that out that has nothing to do with the reality.
Finish.
What?
Now who's not letting somebody finish?
Okay, finish.
All right.
You whiny little bitch. Thank you.
Did you do the work and blah blah? Now we'll release some more money. And I could have paid for the whole fucking thing and just been done with it. And I had to sit there and be treated by a bunch of fucking crooks.
Okay, I'm not. I can't even really engage. First of all, I don't contest any of that. The 2008 and the meltdown was just horrendous on so many levels. And I'm very sorry about your roof, but I just can't engage on this level of we're talking about your roof.
We're not sorry about my roof.
It's so because that's anecdotal. Because you're trying to extrapolate from your roof to making a statement about America in general and how we solve problems. And of course, your roof is your roof, and that,
so that's
and that
silly
matters.
To do that.
It is silly.
Well, a few minutes ago, you said I was a lot smarter than I let on, and now you're talking down to me, saying, "Oh, your fucking roof," and I'm some guy at the end of the bar. Who am I, Bill? I am who you need me to be, depending on what your fucking argument is.
I would. Good lyrics. They also wrote a lot of gobbledygook, and they wrote a lot of stuff that's just embarrassing doggerel, like the sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so is you. That's not a great lyric. It's just not.
Well, if you're commercial fishing for $1, that's fucking right on the money. I like that. That makes me feel good.
Commercial fishing. That's good. See? Look at you.
Yeah,
so smart.
I watched Deadliest Catch.
What's that?
It's a crab show.
A crab show.
There's these people that sit in rooms alone on boats all by themselves, and they risk their lives to go get king crab for you.
How old are your kids?
5 and 2.
5 and 2?
Yeah.
Oh, you got young kids.
Yeah, I'm an old dad. I had a lot of shit to work out, Bill. I had a lot of books to not read before my kids got here.
Do you like them?
I love them.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No, I love my kids.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a silly question.
That's a no.
No.
That is actually a very fair question.
Oh, good.
It is.
No, really. I'm glad. I did something good.
No, I wasn't. Are you
I know.
all like sensitive after this?
I'm not sensitive.
We're not going to hug in the parking lot?
We're going to blow each other in the parking lot.
I have to tell you something. When you go down to the playground and you see those kids and they need that love and they're not getting it, it's one of the most heartbreaking things ever. And then you start seeing their kids behaving in a bad way towards your kids, and you're seeing the beginnings of an asshole adult. And and you want to intervene,
I feel
but
like
you can't.
What I see from the outside, and again, this is just from the outside because I hate kids, but on files. I have many files. Like, I'm not a car guy, but I have files up the ass. I have them in the garage. I have in my office, the
like
outer
a file
office.
cabinet.
Like very, very good files. Like Fire King files. They are fireproof and they are strong. Some of them I've had for 30 years. They last.
And what's in there?